What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill, and in today's video we are learning how to powder coat. Now this is not something I had planned on doing. Seen some other channels do this. It looks super simple, but it's just one of those things that it's like, yeah, I'll just let somebody else do that. And that was my intentions, but I ordered these new diff covers for the F350. The rear one is pretty much rusted out and needs to be changed. Anyway, so I went ahead and ordered these from Ballistic Fabrications. The factory differential cover is just a thin piece of metal. This thing is heavy duty steel, welded, great. I mean, it's got some weight to it. There's nothing that is going to damage that, I am sure of it. But it came in raw metal. There's two powder coating shops nearby that I've looked up before. You know, I was like, okay, well, I'll be able to take it to one of them and get it taken care of, no problem. So I called the first powder coating shop, and turns out they've actually gone out of business. They're no longer around. So down to one powder coating shop nearby. And so I send them an email. He emails me back like, what colors were you thinking? And one of the Illusion colors, which is Illusion Royal, let him know that I wanted to do that with a clear coat over top of it. And he emails me back. He's like, oh, I don't do Illusion colors. Try this other shop in the next town over. Okay, you don't do Illusion colors, whatever. The Illusion colors give the illusion of being color, like a color over chrome. Like, so you can get the same effect by doing chrome first and then a color over top of it. So you don't actually have to use an Illusion color to do it. You can just do chrome and then a color over top of it. It's pretty much the same effect. It's a different process. It just uses different powder. So I reached back out to him. I'm like, okay, well, what colors do you do? What kinds of powders do you work with? You know, I don't necessarily need Illusion color. I just want that, you know, same effect. You know, what are you working with, and what can you do? Never heard anything back from him. Reached out one more time, still haven't heard anything back from him. So I just went ahead and ordered everything, and I'm going to try powder coating myself. I've cleaned and cleaned this. I baked this at 450 to make sure any gases were off of it. I'm going to wipe it down one more time. Now, this does have this raised piece, this raised skull on it that I have taped off with some high temperature heat resistant tape, because, you know, I want to do this whole thing with that blue, but I want to leave the skull, you know, bare metal. And then when I do the clear coat over that, it'll just preserve the bare metal, so that won't rust or anything, but it'll stand out against everything else being blue. I don't have an oven out here. I don't have 240 volt out here. So I ended up buying a toaster. This is the largest capacity toaster oven I could find that would actually fit these things in here. Now, like I said, this thing, it is very heavy duty. So I've test put it in there. The racks are holding it up, but I'm still a little wary that this thing might collapse on me halfway through powder coating it, or halfway through baking it. This is supposed to bake at 400, so I'll let that heat up. Now, normally you want to clip onto the part itself, but I have this whole part resting on the rack. I'm pretty sure that'll do all right. I don't have anything on this part itself that I can really clamp to, so hopefully that'll work out all right. We'll see. And so I have my color in here. I just want to shake it up, take it, put it right on the gun. The cap's on there, and then you do need air hooked up. It does not take a lot of air pressure. It's only, I have it set at like 3 or 4 right now PSI, and that's probably more than enough. but we will see. And it's got a trigger. Once you push the trigger, that energizes the metal and then should make this powder stick. So I'm going to start up around here where there's cutouts and then go around along these edges to try to get the hard to reach places first, and then cover all the larger area. All right, I need a little more air than that. There we go. All right, so we are definitely coated. We've got powder all over this thing. Now, the good thing about this, it's just powder, so we don't want it on here. We can just brush it away that way. I'm just looking for any kind of bare spots that maybe we didn't get enough powder on. But I think we are good. Ground wire there. And hope this thing does not collapse on me. All right, so there we are. We are in the oven. We need to bake this at 400 degrees until it turns gloss. Once it turns gloss, then we start a timer for 2 minutes and we'll pull it out. So not sure how long that'll take. All right, while that's baking, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my mess here, which is actually quite simple. Disconnect this. I ordered a couple of extra of these containers just so I could keep the different colors in there without having to pour it back into the bags they come in. I ordered a pound of this and a pound of the clear, which seems like it's going to be more than enough to do everything I have. I only poured a little bit of the bag in here, and I still got quite a bit left in the bag, and I still have quite a bit left here after even doing one. And then just disconnect this, and cleanup is as simple as just blow it out. Blow the powder out with air, make sure everything's cleared out, and you're good to go. We're ready for the clear coat. And see, it looks like it's thinning out a bit. It's actually a light, it's more metallic now, looking more silver and less blue, and it hasn't quite glossed over yet, but it's getting there. It's starting to, you know, get a bit transparent. It's losing some of the color. We'll see how this turns out. It's been about 5 minutes that it's been, well, not even that. I guess about 4 minutes. So I'm guessing we have 3 or 4 more minutes before it starts glossing over completely, and then 2 minutes after that. So it might be about 10 minutes in there. All right, now it looks like we are glossing out. We have pretty good gloss coat on there, so I've set a 2-minute timer. Once that goes off, we'll pull this out. and let it cool. There we go, we got it pulled out of the oven. It looks pretty darn good as it already. Once it cools down some, I'll pull that tape off. Make sure we don't have any problems there. If we do, sand it a bit and get it cleaned up so that's nice and polished. And then we'll do the clear coat over top of it. All right, so while this has been cooling off, I actually started making another video doing the cab lights on the F350, but as you tell, we're running out of daylight out there. So finish that up. We'll get back to that video and finish that one up tomorrow, probably, weather permitting. Hopefully it doesn't rain because we just drilled some holes in the roof of that aren't completely sealed up yet. But while I was working on that, gave this time to cool down. Looks really awesome, I think. But that color should deepen the blue a bit. Not that I don't like this color, it's actually pretty awesome, but once you do the top coat, it will make it a deeper blue. The tape came off of there, clean that up. So I think we're ready to apply the clear. So it's just like the other, it's just a white powder. And shake it up. I'm gonna set you guys over here. Power button, hold it down, and let's see what happens. And again, I'm going to go around this bottom edge first. Fill in the it helps when you actually connect the air hose. It wasn't sticking there for a second. Grab my mask. Luckily I have masks laying all over the place nowadays. A bit powdery in here. But yeah, that one, I had to move this ground around a couple of times. The second coat doesn't want to stick as easily because it's going, well, you already got one layer of powder on there. So doing the second coat was a little trickier. I was worried about not being able to get any powder in there in the eyes or anything, but that did end up working. Looks like we got pretty good coverage all the way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this oven, bake, and I'm gonna leave it at 350. It says 375 for 18 minutes. Once the piece gets up to temperature, or if it's thicker material, that might take a little longer to get up to temperature. To do 350 degrees for 20 minutes. So I'm going to do the 350. We'll put the piece in, or wait for that piece to actually get up to 350, and then we'll start a timer for 20 minutes. And that's what I got this little thermometer here for. Now we gotta wait for this to actually get up to the desired temperature, and then start the timer. So let me dust off any unwanted powder off of that tray. Boop de boop boop boo. Go ahead and close that. It's completely dark out now. Apparently I wasn't recording there just then. But we got a timer set for 22 minutes. This thing sets itself for 30 minutes whenever you reset the time. And I reset the temperature to 375 because it wasn't getting quite up to 350 when it was set at 350. So went a little bit above, and now it's almost up to temperature. I just checked the temperature. It was around 300, 325. So I mean, by the time this hits 20 minutes, that should be up to temperature. So I think we can just go by this timer here. And when that's done, our part should be done. And it's very, very glossy now. I don't know how well you can tell that. The color's starting to darken up really good now. So I'll just let it sit in there until that timer's done. Well, there we go. We got both of them on. I just used the RTV gasket maker, so letting that cure for a bit, set. And then I'll go ahead and put some gear oil in these, and we are done. So I don't know if you ever watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, but the last season, Larry made a spike store, and I kind of want to do the same thing. I want to start a spike powder coating business. Now, I know I'm not good enough to start a business with it, but I need a bit more practice, but it doesn't mean I couldn't hire somebody that was. And I've been looking at warehouse spaces. I've actually gone a little too far down this rabbit hole, so maybe I'll start a powder coating business. I don't know yet, but I'm really turned off by the way that the guy handled me. Just tried pushing me off to another shop because he didn't feel like doing too little covers. You know, if you had a minimum order size or something like that, go ahead and tell me, but just say, no, I don't do that color, and then not give any alternate colors, anything like that. Just rubbed me the wrong way. So I ended up doing the powder coating myself. I think it turned out awesome. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think, how to turn out. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.